All right. Hey there. It is James Gardner. It is Warrior Wednesday Writing Reflection coming at you on this fine first Wednesday of May, May the 5th. It's the 5th of May, and it's day 328 of this writing journey. And next Wednesday actually will be the 11th month exactly. 1 month ago. Cindy Van is in the house. My numerological geek friend. How are you? Mad love to you. So you know what I thought I'd riff on today about this book journey. So 328 days of writing. I get a lot of people asking me, well, first off, when is it getting published? Because it's almost a year. It's coming up on, yes, it was Cindy, Epic Day. It's coming up on a year. And I didn't know it was such this process. I didn't know it was quite the undertaking that it is. Actually, Cindy's writing a book, just started her journey. And I was talking to my writing coach just the other day, and hopefully, hope is not a strategy. However, in this case, I'm going to use the term hope. Hopefully, we will pass it off to a publisher in, midsummer is the plan. And then it will take anywhere from 5 to 7 months, 3 to 7 months, depending. So the book will not be officially tangible in your hands until the beginning of 2022. That said, and the big reason, thanks, Cindy. Thanks. The big reason why is, honestly, this is not a self-help book. People say, well, they assume it's a self-help based on the personal development that I do and the business coaching that I do. And of course, there's self-help elements in there. But I quickly realized that the book that I wanted to write, my story that I wanted to write, encompasses all the different threads of me. And banging out a step-by-step kind of, get your head out of your ass book is really not what James Gardner is all about. So what is the book? Conscious Warrior Going All In with Love. It is my life journey. Obviously, I've been talking about it for 328 days. It's set with a warrior motif. So it takes place in 5 different arenas that I lived in different ages, right? So Rhode Island, New York City, Los Angeles, Vancouver Island. And the journey is told through basically the lens of 3 characters: Jimmy, little Jimmy, Jim, and James. And the stories, the arenas, and within each arenas, there's a lot of standalone chorus type sections, very much like Shakespeare, very much as Shakespeare would use, where I go into my poetic prose. Some of you that have been following my material, you know that I kind of like to write with a romantic pen, and very metaphors and kind of sweeping sensual symphony with how I want to describe things and live. And so those chorus sections have those elements to it. And then I've interwoven a lot of dream, fantasy, reality, of course, but mixing in my love of movies, mixing in using that for metaphors and things like that. So just to give you an overview, it's kind of like the Rhode Island arena, if you will, is very, very Steven Spielberg-esque with how I bring in things like obviously Spielberg and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and The Wizard of Oz, and Star Trek. So there's a lot of that interwoven into the storytelling of the journey of little Jimmy. Then we go into New York and getting into kind of a, hey, how you doing? Like mafioso style, kind of gritty, dirty, Jimmy and Joe Bag of Donuts over there, things like that in New York City, kind of real edgy grit. The concrete jungle, the circus that is New York City. Obviously, then we get into LA, which is more of the fantasy land, truthfully, and some of obviously the storytelling then encompasses some fantasy in terms of ghosts, in terms of kind of serendipitous full circle of events that may or may not be destiny, depending on how we choose to look at it. And then we finish up north, obviously in Vancouver Island, where the Pacific Northwest takes on this very much of a Middle Earth type scenario, where Frodo has to leave the Shire, getting to destroy the ring, and is getting lured by the whispering calls of ego and unserving behavior and actions, and goes deep into the jungle. And then it all kind of ties together. There's a huge Christmas theme throughout this book, which is very much me, Mr. Christmas. And so there's a lot of that that's in there as well. And there's a lot of humor. There's a lot of kind of my sarcasm, the way that I speak sometimes, and poetic creativity. And so all that to say, it's one of the reasons why it is taking longer, or taking long. I've been writing just about every day for 328 days. I think I missed 5 days total, 6 days total. 6 days total of writing in that journey, or on this journey. So once this book is completed, it's definitely going to be an entertaining, thought-provoking, inspirational, motivational, serendipitous, destiny-filled, romance-laden thread of a little guy, a little kid who dared to ask a question when he was a young kid, a young boy, of what's out there for me, and what's my destiny. And it's the story of all that leading me to where I am now, which is absolutely, an amazing place. And it's wrought with beautiful moments, heartbreak, hard decisions, life-changing decisions, loss, grief, shame, guilt, adventure, freedom, a lot of great anecdotes. Living, as you've heard me tell some stories, but living in New York and LA, there's great little anecdotes. There's definitely a Forrest Gump part in this book, where you're going to be like, I can't believe he met this person, or I can't believe he met this person again, or he was just talking about this person, and all of a sudden, boom. And I'm having drinks with celebrities, or lifting weights with, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and working out with him for a bit, and just a lot of crazy things that just make up this this story that I think will not. I trust that will land with people out there, and ultimately, as I've been saying, ultimately inspire them to truly listen to their own truth and not make decisions based on what other people think they should be doing, what society thinks they should be doing. Ultimately, just listening to one's heart and trusting that as a compass, and we will all emerge from the wilderness to be of contribution. So I wanted to thank you, Paula. Thank you very much for that. I truly appreciate that. Thank you. So I wanted to share that kind of is the book, and it is it's a nonfiction memoir, inspirational tale, all of that stuff. It's not a Cole's Notes get rich quick book, or it's not a Cole's Notes get your head out of your ass book. It's meant to really allow people a collective pause and elevate. So that's my hope, and that's my what I would love to see happen when we finish this book. So I wanted to share that with you today. As a whole, I know I've been sharing over the last I don't even know how well, it's been probably 6 months now that I've been doing this every Wednesday since September, I think. Every Wednesday. So I've been sharing a lot of little anecdotes and a lot of takeaways, and so I thought I'd give you kind of a broad stroke analysis of Conscious Warrior going all in with love. Mad love to the courageous. That's you out there, and I appreciate the support. I appreciate the community, and let's keep the high vibes going. All right, cheers.